Although we've already discussed this indirectly many times, nevertheless, what is your vision of the future transformation of professions related to programming and IT technologies? I just remember we talked and you said that digital technologies sooner or later will move to the background. Now, however, they seem to have taken over the world.
Our point is that we need to go through these digital technologies to the fullest in order to then let go of them. If we don't get enough of them, they'll remain like a tempting treat. Once we use them and then relax, moving into a more sensory level of life, they will take their place in the world, very significant and necessary, but only so that we can later listen to music, grow plants and flowers, interact with the surrounding world, hear the songs of real birds, and live creatively. Digital technologies should serve a function that otherwise takes away our ability to develop and engage with beauty. Right now, we're busy from 8 to 20 with work, children, household chores, trying to pay off loans. What is this? It's merely living under the suppression of anxiety, which unfortunately comes from our parents who thought and interacted with the world out of fear and denial.
In this case, should we try to maintain some balance? To live more through communication and real living experiences? Or is it okay to dive fully into these technologies, experience them, see everything they offer, and extract some essence for ourselves, as you said?
It has always been good to underconsume, whether it's the gym, food, relatives, social interaction, development, learning, just a little underconsumption. Overconsumption always destroys us, causing reactions of nausea, rejection, emptiness, and degradation. For example, if we go to the cinema and watch 10 films in a row, we won't feel well. If we eat at a restaurant until we can barely move and struggle to breathe from greasy food, that's harmful. So, we shouldn't overconsume anything, and this includes technologies.
So,
we should use them only as much as they help us develop, slightly less, leaving room for everything else in life.
So this digestion of digital technologies will just spread across the masses, and we will go through it at the pace and degree.
The question here is, some people go too deep into family life and degrade, some into work and degrade, some into computer games and degrade, some into overeating and degrade, some into extreme sports and degrade, some into spirituality and degrade. Our task is to maintain balance, to have family, development, sports, technology, films, theaters, travel, interesting activities, creativity, and social interaction, all in moderation, without overconsumption, but also without self-limitation. That's when efficiency and breakthroughs occur in every sphere, in technology, family, medicine, personal development, and travel.
Excellent. Next question. I'm very curious about the future of the acting profession. Directing, script writing, the role of cinema in the future. Let's start with the current role of cinema. Basically, entertainment, but in some sense also mentorship and promotion.
We would like it to be mentorship and promotion. Unfortunately, when Robert and I watched Marvel reviews, I agreed with the reviewer that the company was focused on making money. They hired the cheapest directors and scriptwriters, and it showed. I couldn't watch it. I kept starting and stopping. They didn't create an educational process based on concepts like communication, kindness, sensitivity, sincerity, and creativity. They just made a cheap product, unworthy of anyone's attention. It was all special effects and emptiness, lacking values, or so artificial that my inner state couldn't even handle it.
There's currently a writer's strike in Hollywood. Maybe something will change. They say it's incredibly underpaid work.
The point is, when companies focus on money, big companies like Hollywood, Apple, Samsung, Google, they will fail everywhere. Unfortunately, we may also feel the decline indirectly.
So in the future, cinema, as you say, a child should be born aligned with a purpose in this world order. Will cinema appear only as a super product that changes people's worldview and thinking, redirecting them to new tracks of existence? Will we eventually get there?
A child's formation still depends on parents, teachers, doctors, books, and films they consume. Yes, we can add theaters, shows, singers, and DJs. This forms the complete environment shaping a person. If we create films thoughtfully, embedding deep meaning across multiple genres, romantic, comedic, dramatic, we nurture individuals constantly growing and applying principles of ecology and humanity. But if we make action films with good characters killing bad characters brutally, we won't cultivate a harmonious society. We need a foundation of kindness, love, and an understanding that everything stems from the human psyche, from values, from harmony.
And what about the acting profession itself? I know you've always said it's very specific. A person portrays another person, their emotions, pain, and state. They live someone else's life and take on foreign energies, yet they are filled somewhere while depleted elsewhere. For example, you forbid me from mugging even when I feel like it. So acting is problematic.
It's relatively fine if actors play themselves, if they are cast in roles that let them express themselves authentically. Even negative people, by doing this, process their karma and move beyond it. They won't be able to repeat those roles endlessly because they've lived them and internalized them. Then it becomes genuine acting, beneficial for the actor. But if actors identify with their roles, it's their degradation, and the audience also sees the roles rather than the real person behind them.
So if acting is truly a calling, the person feels in harmony with the emotions and sensations, and they live them genuinely.
The only limitation is they can't repeat the same roles. As they grow, their repertoire must change. If an actor plays a villain sincerely, internalizes it, and then disidentifies, they cannot play it the same way again. But they are purified and improved. It's like Hellinger constellations. You play it out, disidentify, and release it. But remember, you said that in Hollywood, actors are often selected based on character and natal chart alignment with the role.
Exactly. That's why what you say is true. I once analyzed Joaquin Phoenix in Joker, where he essentially played himself, or Margot Robbie in Tonya vs. All, Babylon, Barbie. She takes on eccentric characters and embodies them. It's impressive how she endures it.
If she could disidentify after roles, release them, and set intentions afterward, she'd probably play only one role at a time and then move to another, becoming a completely different person.
But they do change and flow into new roles.
Yes, but sincerity is crucial in any profession. Authenticity. That's how we are nurtured. Artificial performance may leave us unchanged at best or make us artificial at worst.
A good actor is defined by sincere expression. And I suppose scripts won't be entrusted to AI entirely. Maybe the writer's strike will change things, or someone will push the narrative.
AI will analyze the experience of successful films, psychological triggers, and emotional impact. If principles of love, happiness, development, humanity, and ecology are integrated and curated by sensitive humans, AI can help write amazing scripts. Still, only a human artist, poet, or writer in unison with their muse can create something truly original. AI only processes what already exists. It cannot create from zero. It analyzes vast material, valuable, trivial, effective, or ineffective, and outputs based on human-designed algorithms.
Creativity always remains human.
Absolutely. AI will continue to evolve, but it will always rely on human creativity as its foundation.
Will cinema endure? You once said music and songs may become unnecessary.
Once we reach deep transformations, music, songs, and films will exist on a completely different level, affecting us in new ways. Most current music is like a Stone Age tool for a modern human, outdated and simplistic.
That's the natural progression over time. We'll see. Next question. Are there professions today that might disappear completely, so we won't even remember they existed?
I can't list them now, but from a futurology perspective focused on ecology, humanity, and harmony with Earth, many professions will vanish. Taxi drivers, train engineers,
Warehouse workers.
many specialties will no longer be necessary.
And fundamental roles shaping society and human life?
If you ask me to list each specifically,
In politics, perhaps?
politicians will remain, but will play different roles. Today's politicians advance corporate interests, manipulating people's values to gain support. Such politicians will disappear. Any who attempt otherwise will be eliminated. Politics will be based on love for humanity, on creating happiness and opportunities for each individual.
Will financiers always exist?
No. Financiers reveal the flaws of the financial system. If financiers exist, the system is flawed. The priority should be benefits for human health, creativity and development. Fundamental things like toothpaste, tables or forks. Financial manipulations divert from true happiness and societal development.
And managers, project managers, coordinating processes and communication?
They will remain guided by intuition, systems thinking, and managing AI ethically and effectively for society and Earth.
Psychologists?
Yes, but more like miracle workers, healers, and clairvoyants of a new quality.
Without revisiting old patterns?
They'll produce effects we can't yet imagine, as wise, creative, enlightened beings.
Excellent. Next question, same topic. How do you see the world in the future? Will states have armies, law enforcement? Can the world exist harmoniously without them?
Absolutely. If children are born in love, conceived in love, and nurtured with love, there will be zero crime, corruption, and misperceptions of human values. Currently, this seems unrealistic because most politicians do not reflect true human needs: happiness, fulfillment, health, and creativity, which improve life quality and interest in living on Earth.
Great. Next question. Will the concept of profession or specialty disappear?
Never. Each person will follow their genetic codes, DNA, and predispositions. The level and potential of each individual will increase exponentially if we avoid corrupting them with technocratic values and gadget dependence.
Will specialty be replaced by calling?
Each person will choose who they truly are, focusing on their most beloved work, beneficial to themselves and society. Love and harmony will be the foundation. People will advance science, space, teleportation, telekinesis, health, consciousness, psychology, interactions with other civilizations, immortality, and life's multidimensionality. We must transcend the dual world of good/bad into the concept of love.
Okay. Then, how should young people choose future professions?
First, by visible external factors: success, fulfillment, effectiveness. Second, observe the happiness, pleasure, health, love, and kindness of those already successful. Third, honesty with oneself, curiosity, and taking measured risks in directions that feel useful while treating others as we wish to be treated. Efficiency must balance with love and humanity. If we emulate wealthy, goal-driven people, we risk degradation because they prioritize achievement over human well-being. Consider the company that pushed tree-based paper over hemp. They manipulated governments and the media, lobbied bans on industrial hemp, and later had to pay hundreds of millions in proven damages for ecological harm and the deaths their toxic emissions caused. Success without humanity leads to harm.
Young people must align their values with those of the role models they follow.
If parents raise children in love, they will feel values instead of merely thinking. Decisions made from denial or fear never yield desired results.
Next question. Will new professions emerge that we can't even imagine today?
Yes, linked to new technologies.
In what area?
First, psychokinesis. Serious focus on teleportation. Telekinesis, predicting the future and working with new psychic energies.
I've heard research on influencing people during sleep. For example, if a carpenter dreams about a tree, they work more effectively. Globalists are already marketing this.
Hormones govern us. Electromagnetic fields govern hormones. Laws, tasks, and software above us govern electromagnetic fields. We haven't fully explored this yet because higher intelligence directs decisions through us. If we're not in harmony with their ideas, we are slowed as our perception and hormonal systems mediate control. Perception still starts in the gut, then it goes to the liver, which is responsible for novelty, to the stomach, which is responsible for acceptance, to the thyroid, which keeps harmony between the inner and the outer. And only after that does it reach the brain and the neural networks we build as we perceive the world. Relying on past knowledge causes degradation. Relying on intuition and sensory potential fosters growth and transformation.
Okay, next tricky question. What will be the highest paid professions of the future?
Surprisingly, psychotherapists.
Not surprising these days.
They'll treat all conditions simultaneously, from bone healing to complex physiological and psychological issues, working with human energy structures. By the time futurology fully develops, even miracle workers will envy psychotherapists for their ability to change people and states.
And educators and caregivers.
They are the #1 professions globally. With thoughtful selection, we can create a society without wars, illnesses, or depression.
How soon will telepathy be universally used for communication? Will we need traditional communication tools? Maybe telekinesis for transport?
It depends on how much we reduce haste. By thinking globally and acting deliberately in details, we achieve telepathy naturally, communicating with anyone and any energy structure intuitively.
Then speed doesn't matter.
It only accelerates if governments change values, enshrining human happiness, fulfillment, health, and harmonious development as the highest principles.
Excellent. That's all from me. Thank you. I hope we've helped someone find their path.
Until next time.
Bye.